All right, guys, we are live, and I appreciate you guys showing up. This is a special chat for one of my new subs and someone I am new to subbing to, the Modern Anti-Federalist. He's actually a pretty cool dude, has a lot of good views, a lot of good points. And Chuck, my good friend, my good brother, reached out to me earlier and asked if I would host this chat tonight. And you guys know me, I am more than happy to help out someone when I can. So that's why we are here. So, with that being said, I'm going to let the Modern Anti-Federalist introduce himself.
Well, man, hey guys, first off, I really appreciate the kind words. Having a small little channel, I mean, it's hard to get growth out there, and you work hard making that content, and you just hope you can get someone to view it. And so it's really cool to see other YouTubers reaching out, trying to help me grow.
Definitely. I just want to second how good a guy Adam here at the Modern Anti-Federalist. Sorry if I said your name, but
that's fine.
Yeah, like he's just a good guy. Like I reached out to him when I was subbing and talked to him about House Bill 75, and man, he put out a top-notch video, well edited, had good points in it, had good examples. Same thing he did with the Parkland shooting videos and David Hogg's clear backpack, which he has a ton of views on. And I think, you know, it might have changed one or two people's minds down at the level of the thing, because I sent it to the senator or the state representative I was in touch with, Mr. Eastman. And so I really think it might have helped Adam. So I maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Who knows? But I mean, it was more than, you know, Hank Strange did with me, or more than anybody else, you know, did for me on that particular issue. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for those guys, but like. So like just what a great guy he is, and you know we need to start fighting these things, and that's what he's here for. So y'all, if you haven't subbed to the Modern Anti-Federalist, make sure you go sub to him.
Yeah, once again, guys, I appreciate it. You know, you can definitely see an evolution of the channel if you look at my content. What started out as a, you know, I'm a veteran, and I started out by doing like gear reviews of equipment that I bought and used, you know, through active duty, so that I could, you know, maybe save another guy who's just getting started in his military career from spending money on gear he didn't, you know, necessarily need, or something that broke on me or whatever. But, you know, I ended up transitioning into just political commentary, and it seems to have done well. And in fact, tonight what we were going to talk about was actually President Trump, his address to the NRA the other day. That was a pretty big news event.
So before we get going, if you don't mind, I would like to do a couple of quick shout outs to the chat room that we have going on. So we have Stealth Horror 1000, good guy. He jumps in a lot of live streams. We have Vash Matrix. If you don't know Vash Matrix, I don't think he makes any videos. I haven't seen any from him yet, but he's a pretty cool dude. He's got lit up a few times and left some comments and made some comments where he has contacted me and apologized, but trust me, he's a good dude. We have Vanessa Kitties out there. Awesome, awesome woman. She is a big bore revolver girl, so trust me, I like her a lot. And I think big bore, you got me. And then, of course, we have Armament and Axes, who just joined us also here in the live chat. And then we have Insight Freedom. And we have BO. If you guys don't know BO, check out BO. And yes, it is BO.
Black Cat Outdoors.
Yes, BO stinks.
No, that's actually, I definitely see a few people. Vanessa, one of your moderators, I guess there, she actually is been subscribed to my channel since I got on gun channels a little while back.
Yeah, Vanessa is a big bore girl, and I have to, you know, I'm a big bore guy, so she's all about the 629. I'm all about the 29. So we are 44 mag people, so she automatically got a wrench.
There you go.
automatically. 629, 8 3/8 inch barrels, he says. Yeah, that's some good taste, but too bad it's not a Ruger that can actually handle the bear loads.
You'd be surprised what the Smith will handle.
I would be. I definitely would be. What's up, Armament and Axis?
Hey, Alaskan, what's happening? Hey,
Hey.
Scotsman. I see insight in the chat. No mention of the videos that he's making.
Hey, right ahead.
Are you making videos?
So again, apparently Armament and Axis didn't listen when I told them there are rules to get in the wrench. Dude, you got to pay attention to the rules.
Know your role.
Yeah. All right. So this is a Tuesday night tradition on the Modern Anti-Federalist channel. Scotsman graciously allowed to host it, or agreed to host it tonight. And this is our weekly 2A late night Tuesday chat. So either the Modern Anti-Federalist or I will come up with a topic to talk about. And it usually runs about an hour, a little bit more structure than we're used to on some of the Scotsman's chats. But, you know, Scotsman's doing pretty good about that. I appreciate it. But I'm just gracious for Scotsman allowing us to have it here. So, Adam, you want to get started on what we thought tonight's topic is Trump's speech. So anybody in the side chat has a good comment on Trump's speech, you know, let us know.
Yeah. So as you guys recall, I guarantee most of you in the viewing audience have already seen Trump's speech to the NRA last week. If you haven't, I definitely think you should check it out, because that was a big thing in gun news. But he says all the right things. He goes through statistics, but still at the end of the day, and I'll just go ahead and go for the juggler right at the beginning, is that what I found interesting was what he didn't say. He said, we're going to protect your gun rights. Well, that's very vague. He didn't say, is he going to protect all of them? Because we've already seen the debacle with bump stocks. And so it's something we still have to watch him like a hawk. You know, I'm not, you know, pro or really anti-Trump. He wasn't my first choice, but he's not Hillary. And we have ended up with some good things with the guy. As far as, you know, I thought it was good with the Iran deal, and I thought what he said the other day was good. But once again, he didn't say, "Hey, I'm going to protect your AR-15s. I'm going to protect your AK-47s." You know, he didn't say, "Get gun legislation, you know, pro-gun stuff to my desk." You know, nothing about the Hearing Protection Act, which has dropped off the radar since Las Vegas and Parkland, and just there was not a. It was a feel-good moment, but I didn't feel it built any momentum.
I concur completely. From what I've watched of the speech, is he said all the right things. He placated it. He praised the NRA, and you know the NRA is behind him on the bump stocks and is behind him on the red flag laws. They have come out with, you know, statements and stuff recently that they're in favor of those things. The NRA would have sponsored House Bill 75 here in Alaska, which would allow the confiscation of guns without a crime ever being committed. And so, you know, to me, his speech, the parts of it I've watched, I haven't watched all of it yet, and I'm going to go ahead and confess that to the side chat here. But, you know, to me, it just definitely just shows that he was placating to the crowd. But the one thing I'm impressed with, and here's the one thing I am impressed with, just the very fact that he went to the NRA convention to make that speech. I didn't see George W. Bush, you know, do it. I didn't see George W. Bush's dad do it. I didn't see Ronald Reagan do it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I was a little tiny kid at the time.
Right.
But I haven't seen. Of course, you're not going to see Clinton or Obama or Hillary or Sanders or anybody else.
You missed Obama. You would never see Obama there.
Yeah, no. Exactly. You know. And one thing I like about certain, like my first choice in the Republican primary was Rand Paul. And one thing I like about Rand Paul is he would go to groups that were opposite of him. He went to the NAACP. He would go to the ACLU. and he would plead his case. And what he would do is he would go to those places and talk about things he had in common. All right. Such as the, illegal seizure, never get your property back, even if you were never committed by a crime, which has plagued, drug communities where drugs have have big prevalence. And so, he would go to those kinds of places. So just the very fact that Trump is going to a place that is controversial means that he is he's willing to be a little bit more than just a political hack to me. Now, I'm not saying I trust the man as far as I can throw him, but I agree with you, Adam.
Can I put in 2 cents? The whole going to the other groups, it's just like, let me turn my exhaust fan off. It's just like you see Steven Crowder do the change my mind. I'm this, change my mind. Honestly, that you know how many people I meet, and I'm sure you do too, that they're not really gun people and they really don't know, but they love the Constitution and the freedoms, but they really don't understand what certain things mean, and they have been tricked by the media to believe, oh, evil gun, evil gun, evil gun. Well, no, guns aren't evil. It's a piece of metal. People are evil. You see what I mean? So you have to go to the other side and try to use facts and logic. Okay.
Well, one of the biggest problems is, and I heard today on the radio when I was driving to work, is on the radio, for example, there was an ad, and obviously it was a paid-for ad.
I heard it too.
And it was assault rifles. We need to ban assault rifles. This guy supports banning assault rifles. Let's put him in office.
Dennis Kucinich. I heard that. What were you, 98.5?
Yeah.
Yep, I heard it too, brother.
And I'm sitting there in my truck and I'm getting pissed.
Yeah, I was in my dump truck thinking.
And I'm just like, are you effing kidding me right now?
Well, I tell you this, they said so-and-so is not for banning him. I went, well, that's the guy I'm voting for. Then thanks for the free ad to tell me to vote for the pro-gun guy, because think about it. To us pro-gun people, when they put something out like that, we go, oh, that guy's pro-gun? Well, shit, I'm voting for him then.
But the biggest problem with everything is, like with that, is there's so many people out there that are listening to the radio that don't know, that don't understand.
Yes.
And they hear that key fucking word of assault rifle.
Yeah, created term.
And, it doesn't help that we have people that claim to be on the right, conservative speakers that are, again, talking about banning AR-15s and assault rifles as well. For instance, there's a certain popular radio host, Michael Savage, and this guy has, over the years, many, many times railed against AR-15s, saying we don't need them, and then mockingly would say, well, if you need an AR-15, then you must need a Panzerfaust, which was a German anti-tank weapon during World War II that the Germans would give to their population so that if Allied tanks rolled through, they could mount a resistance. And to which I would say, yeah, we should have those too.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, the Second Amendment was originally there so that any weapon the government could have, you should be able to have, so that you could protect your rights from that government. That's
the biggest thing. It's there for whatever we need.
Yeah, nuclear weapons might be a little bit different, but just because of their sheer destructive power. But there should be some type of civilian control over the president to use them, in my opinion. I mean, I literally think like maybe the governors of each state has to sign off on the president using them, something like that.
Well, I mean, it's just like, I mean, again, it just comes kind of into play, and I wasn't planning on talking too much tonight, and I apologize, guys, but
no worries.
It kind of goes to the whole federal versus state thing. The state can make their own laws, but federal trumps state.
Yeah, well, hey, perfect example. Look at the marijuana laws. You know what I'm saying? And all these states are going, well, marijuana is legal here, but it's still against federal crime. So now it infringes on your Second Amendment right. So that's just one of the whole state versus federal kind of controversial things. Just one way to look at it. And you're right. You know, a state can pass a law that goes against the federal government's law, but yet I guess states reserve the right to do that. And it's like, well, I don't know. Too many laws, too many laws.
Yeah.
I said it earlier. I tried to put it in the chat. I probably mentioned this before. I graduated in 1985, so I'm old-ish. I learned in school, it was in my civics class, I think it was my freshman year. Now, I had studied government before that, but my civics teacher, you know, is explaining, you know, oh, the branches of government, you know, the House and the Senate, and they're there to create and modify laws. And when I said to him, I said, man, isn't there going to be too many laws after a while? I mean, really, to the point where we don't even have any freedom. And his eyes got real big, and he shook his head and totally agreed with me. And different times, because teachers today would have went, no, 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 you need the laws. We're indoctrinating you.
Not all teachers, by the way.
Not all teachers. I know. Hey,
That guy's the worst.
Like I said, my best friend since the 5th grade is a teacher, and I wish I had his gun collection. And yeah, anyway. No, you had mentioned earlier about the Trump speech. I didn't get to see it. I got back to work. I work construction. It's Ohio, so when it goes, it goes. I missed the speech, but what you're telling me and what I'm hearing, to me, it sounds like Trump was giving a FUD speech.
I couldn't agree with that more. Like, he was definitely giving a FUD speech. He was praising the NRA, talking up the NRA from what I could tell. He was talking about Chicago, which was good. He brought that up. He was talking about how if somebody had been there in a situation, they could have prevented the deaths if they had been there with gun. If one employee or one NRA member, one patron in a store had, could have prevented something, and, that's our talking points. I agree, but he didn't bring up any legislation of how he's going to protect the Second Amendment. He didn't.
Well, let me ask you guys this: isn't it coming up for time where it's like, what is it, the midterms, or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, it's coming up this fall.
Yes.
So
what Trump did was
he is saying whatever he has to say to maintain the vote.
Yes, actually,
and I hate to say that because I supported the man. I 100% supported him when he first came out and doing this. I supported him because he sounded like he was going to man up, have the balls to say whatever needed to be said, and say "fuck you" when it needed to be said. But that's not how he's been doing it.
Well,
no, this was absolutely a campaign speech. He actually spoke and said, "Hey, you guys got to vote in 2018." He brought that up. He's already running for president in 2020. He's already started his campaign, and he wants to get Republicans to win in 2018. And yes, it was political, but he's right. These 2018 elections, these midterms are very important. We have to get out and vote.
And that's one of the big things he made in that speech was get out and vote. And he made a big deal about how people win the presidency and win the House and the Senate and then always lose the first midterms. So we absolutely have to push conservative values and push getting out to vote. Go ahead, Armin.
I was just going to say today in most states was voting day, for primary voting day, to vote for your party candidate for the fall election. So I know it was in Ohio, Indiana. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, a big part of the country maybe was the primaries. I don't vote in the primaries because I gave up on registering one way or the other because I don't vote party. I vote person. Unfortunately, in my, almost 52 years on this earth, you always end up voting against somebody, the lesser of two evils, because you got to look at which two, or, you got the two-party system, which sucks. I mean, yeah, we got other parties, but the two-party system is in control. And you look at the two parties, And 99% of the time, it's usually Republican. There hasn't been honestly, a Democrat big scale, local. Oh no, there's been a lot of Democrat people that I personally know. They're registered Democrats, but they're not lefty Democrats. But on the national scale, when you look at president, who do you vote for? Well, I definitely don't want this one, but this one isn't as evil. This one is more for us. And honestly, you were talking about Trump. We voted for him, and now we're going, well, wait a minute. Well, I'm not sticking up for him because we don't know what he's going to do next, but have things kind of improved in one way? Yes. But when it comes to, and this is the thing, I said this on Hank's channel, I think the night that it all went stupid and got cut. And anyway, I was on the show and I said, look, you know something? I don't care what party they are. I vote 2A. If they are not pro 2A to the max, I'm not going to vote for them. I can't. And people look at me and, oh, that's stupid. Oh, no, it's not. You got to think about it a lot deeper than, oh, well, you just want, no, you don't understand, people. And like you were saying earlier, we were talking, Alaska, about how talking to people that don't know, going to the ACLU and blah, blah. Honestly, you have to think of it deeper than, well, what happens, people, if the 2A goes away? Oh, well, they don't want your guns. Really? Because they keep taking a little more and a little more and a little more until there's so many laws that we don't have freedom.
And that's the biggest thing is most people don't realize what's going on, that it's one thing after another, after another, after another. And it might seem minuscule at one point, but where does that point end?
Yeah, exactly. Think about it. Just 32 years ago, was it? That's when we lost being able just to buy brand new machine guns if we wanted. Yes, you still had to pay your $200 tax stamp, which I think should go away as well. But
and they're trying to make that a $500 tax stamp, if you didn't know.
Yeah, well, honestly, $200 on the top of what a machine gun costs you is like, if you can afford the machine gun, you can afford the 200 now. Back when the 200 was created, you could buy a house almost for that, or brand new car. What you know what I mean? And it's never changed. But I mean, really, if you can afford, I mean, my God, just
again, that's something that's coming up this year. They're trying to make it $500 and not $200.
Well, I'm going to get my second suppressor in pretty quickly then.
I haven't got my first, dang it.
Yeah.
I literally should be getting the approval back any day now. One that got put in a couple of days before me got approved at my shop just like last week. So I'm hoping that 22 suppressor I just got the little, what is it? The Rebel $99 22 suppressor. It has good reviews for being a $99 suppressor, as long as you don't full auto fire it, I'm like, heck, why not? Hey, so Adam, do you have any other ways you want to talk to us about, or any points else to talk to us about Trump's speech, besides it being basically a big political hacks?
So in relation to his speech, I actually did a video about that I put out the last few days. My schedule's all running together. Don't even know what day it is anymore. But one of the Parkland kids, because these kids are just really trying to I guess they're in 16 minutes of fame now. There was this incredibly biased, propaganda piece, because, they play part of Trump's speech, and then immediately this MSNBC, this lady, she just puts a sigh out and starts talking to the kid. What do you think about that? And then they just keep their anti-gun litany going. So they're just nonstop. They are nonstop.
Yeah, it's something else. I've seen a few things over the last few days where kids were reaching out and do this and do that and ban guns and ban this and ban that, and they have no idea what they're talking about. half of them are not even fucking 15 years old yet. They have no clue what they're talking about.
Hey, Scotsman. I was just going to say, you know, I'm a musician. I jam with a lot of different people, but one of the people that I jam with is a bass player. He plays guitar, barely plays drums, but he's, I think, going to be 24 years old. Young kid, half my age, you know, and he had never fired a gun in his whole life. And I took him out and took him shooting. He wanted to learn. I taught him what, you know, the basics, and he bought his first handgun, didn't like it, sold it, got something different. Now he's got an AR. Now he's a member of our club. My children, this was funny. I can't remember. I was just talking with somebody about this. We used to have a machine gun shoot at our shooting range every year. Now, mind you, I worked at a gun store for about 9.5 years, and I lived in front of our range for like 6.5 years. Now, my kids were growing up at that time, and they went to the machine gun shoot. One was 9, the other, well, they're 3 years apart. One was 12. They both fired submachine guns. One fired an Uzi, one fired a Smith & Wesson Model 76. Look it up. Pretty cool little gun. But I you know, when they did it, I had my hands on their hands and let them do it. But they grew up doing that kind of thing. Kids today, they see these ads. They all they're seeing is all the crap that's being thrown at them. And you got to look, social media, TV, everything, all this crap that's being thrown at them. And of course, being indoctrinated by the lefty school. Yeah.
And that's the even worse part is the schools. And
Right.
Alaskan, you can talk to this. I mean, fuck, you're only a PE teacher, but you can still talk to it.
No, he's a teacher. He deals with kids. You're dealing with
no. Those that can't teach PE. He's a PE teacher, so.
Well,
I bet you're certified in other things, but you know.
I taught history and science for years too, and I even led a choir. And
when you did,
I know.
You're
And
just busting his balls. You're just busting his balls. I get it. I get it. Oh, sorry. Did I say something bad?
you're on my channel. No one gives a shit.
I teach kids how to shoot a basketball. Okay. Now here's the funny thing is, you know, my school emphasizes being safe is the correct way to behave. Because if you say good or bad, the kids really don't understand good or bad yet. And it works. Like, so was that a safe behavior? You tell the kid, well, you know, when you hit somebody, no. All right. So anyway, so the kid understands those terms. And so we are doing floor hockey, which is, you know, basically plastic hockey sticks, fairly durable plastic hockey sticks, and playing hockey in the gym, you know, running in your tennis shoes. And the thing I asked the kids is, which part of the hockey stick is dangerous? I threw the hockey stick on the floor, as, you know, for dramatic effect. And yeah, they go, the blade. And one of them goes, no. I go, no. And one of them goes, the handle. I go, no. And one of them goes, the shaft. I go, no. And one of them goes, all of it. I go, no. And they're sitting there going, well, we said all 4 possible answers. What is it? You know, and I go, the answer is none of it. Is that hockey stick going to get up off the floor and attack me? And they're like, no. I go, so is the hockey stick dangerous at all, or is it you not controlling your body with the hockey stick? And my whole point of that was to teach them that an inanimate object cannot be in and of itself dangerous. I said, it doesn't matter what is lying there. If it is not alive, it is not going to get up and hurt you.
Hey,
if it's a rattlesnake, that's one thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But if it is not alive, it is something made by man that is not living, moving, you know, it's not a futuristic AI robot or something like that. It is not going to get up and hurt you. And that was my biggest thing, is I wanted to tell them is, hey, look, you got to understand. Now, I didn't come out and directly say firearm.
No, but I'm loving where you went with that, because it's almost metaphoric. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You used it in this way, but you're exactly right. And a rattlesnake, no, it's a bear. Well, you know, you hope you got a gun. But, yeah, kids, what age were they? What grade? I'm just curious.
I did that. I actually did that from 1st grade through 5th grade. All
okay, very, very young, very young.
Yep.
Kids at those age, that age, they don't know. They don't know. That's why you are there. And to me, honestly, I respect you for that, because for you doing that, you didn't say, "Oh, it's a gun, it's firearms," and oh my gosh, the parents can't come back at you and go, "Oh, guns, guns, guns," because you know how it goes. Probably not so much in Alaska, because you know everybody owns guns. It's like Texas, right?
Hey, I've actually been to a gun show at a private school.
There you go. We used to have a gun show at one of our schools. But anyway, what I was going to get to is the way that you did that. Dude, you're an awesome teacher. That's cool, because you said, look, and what's the definition of a machine? Do you realize a simple lever, rod on a thing to lift, that's a machine. Okay. And a hockey stick is, it's just a stick. But when you pick it up and use it, it's a machine. What's a gun? Yeah, there you go. What's a gun? It's a machine. What's a baseball bat? A knife? It becomes a machine. It doesn't have to have moving parts. Your arm's the moving part. It's a machine. Okay, so if it applies to one machine, it applies to all machines. Okay, let me put it this way. I worked in a machine shop that the guy was running a horizontal boring machine, and he was stupid and had a ponytail and got caught. And I didn't see it, thank God. I just heard all about it. But that machine almost killed him. Should we ban that machine because he was stupid?
No. And that's one of the big points I want to make is, like, if one dog down the street, call it a Pitbull, which they're the sweetest dogs, it's the owners that's the problem with those dogs. But if one dog down the street bites a kid, do we go and rip the teeth out of every other dog in the street? I mean, if you apply the same logic they want to ban guns with, the AR-15, if you pluck that, and now here's the other point I want to make, and I make this point all the freaking time. Y'all probably tired of hearing me say it, but correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not sure what weapon was used, but wouldn't the first mass murder used with the assault rifle be the Kent State incident?
Yeah, well, that was more of a sniper rifle, but you know something. Look,
I mean, it was an M14, right? So that was a battle rifle at the time.
Yeah,
that was the battle rifle of the time. So the M14, you know, that would be the first mass murder committed with the assault rifle on our soil, and it was by the government against our citizens. A 20-round 308 magazine fed.
Yeah, but
they had wood stocks, so it's completely different.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I can say this. You want to label something an assault weapon. I'm old and don't do it anymore, but I was into the martial arts a lot when I was young, and God help me if I tried anything now other than when the adrenaline might kick in and you don't feel pain or anything, and you just, you know what I'm saying. Other than that, I'm sure after it, if I was still alive, I'd be in so much pain from trying it. Point being is this. What's an assault weapon? My finger, my fist, this screwdriver, a pen?
Well, that's another thing. Like for me,
assault is an action, not an object.
Exactly. and that's the biggest thing. Like for me, I'm a martial artist. I've been doing it for years, and one of the things that I have to do as a martial artist, whatever state I move to, I literally have to go to the local police station in that area I'm living in and say, hey, you know what? This is what I'm trained in. This is what I do. This is what I'm trained in. This is my rank, blah, blah, blah. So if I ever get into whatever incident, if something was to ever happen, I literally have to be able to explain everything I did and why. And if I cannot explain 1 ounce of it, I'm going to jail.
Well, it's the same with a concealed carry holder now. You know, it's almost the same. By the way, you still into it? We might have to get together because I've been thinking about training again, dude. So I don't know what your qualifications are and what you have studied, but we'll talk. We'll talk. And honestly, I got to get back in shape. I ain't getting no younger, and I'm really missing that.
You want to work out, man? We'll work out. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'll probably fall over dead because I smoke too much. I'm a truck driver, and yeah, I got to quit smoking. But I'm going to tell you this, man. When I was younger, you know, I'm a tall, thin dude. I'm pretty sure you are too. And
I'm 6'4" and pretty tall and skinny, man. But I fight like a motherfucker. You fuck with me, I fuck you up.
Well, yeah, that's just, you know, I don't, dude. I live by the do unto others, and you know, I carry a gun. That's be good and carry a stick. You know, you look. I learned this, that vigor, good shape. You learn what you're capable of, your skill. It doesn't matter if it's with your hands, a knife, a stick, a gun. Know what you're capable of, but you're not going to go out and use it to enforce your will. You're going to use it to defend your will. As simple as that. It's there to protect you, yours. Doesn't matter if it's a gun, a knife, a samurai sword, martial arts. It doesn't matter. It's there to defend.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
For example, a good example is like Ohio. Ohio is concealed handgun permit only. It's not a concealed weapons permit. So you got to be careful with that.
Yes. Yes, I know.
So
We live.
One thing that really pisses me off is there are so many companies in Ohio that say it is a CCW. It is not a CCW. It is a CHL. And there's a big fucking difference.
Okay, I'm going to pull mine out just to see what it says. License to carry a concealed handgun. That's what it is. Without even looking at it.
My license is a concealed weapons permit, and mine's a concealed weapons permit because mine's from Georgia, and mine covers me across 90% of states in this country.
However, so you got reciprocity.
You still gotta be careful with what you do and obey the laws of the state you are in. Just because I have a concealed weapons permit does not mean I can carry whatever the fuck I want to in Ohio. I still have to abide by Ohio law and what it says I can carry, which what Ohio says I can carry is a handgun.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get back on track here. Adam, was there anything else about Trump's speech you wanted to kind of go over? What was the next point?
So I mean, I think we covered those basic points of, I mean, I just kind of wanted to go for the jugular quick of say, hey, you know, can we trust what he said? Oh, wait, he didn't say those things. We covered that. We covered that, you know, the left is still just keeping up their bias attack on it. And, you know, it doesn't help that it's Trump because, you know, the left is just completely after him. But there's another piece I've noticed that is very, very interesting to note. I watch what they're doing now. Watch what the left is doing, because what they've done is they're trying to say that the NRA doesn't speak for the average member. To them, they're saying that the average NRA member, the average American, because they're trying to have the moral high ground and say they're the majority. They're saying that the average person in the NRA does that they'd be fine with these gun bans. And unfortunately, if they're all FUDs, there may be truth to that. But the AR-15 has become America's most popular rifle in the nation, so it can't be completely true. But they're trying to say that the NRA is disconnected from us, that they're not speaking for us, that they're speaking as their own entity. When the NRA just had 3 times, their donations tripled in the recent past.
Yeah, and that's the big thing about this 2A push this anti-2A push is that they are trying to go particularly anything they can and throwing it at the wall and see what sticks. And we're just going to have to keep calling out every lie like that. The vast majority, I bet, of the NRA members are against banning any guns because they know they're going to take all guns eventually. Now, there are probably, 20, 30% of the old guard that thinks, hey, it's just my hunting rifle. As long as I got my hunting shotgun, as long as I got my daddy's double barrel I can quail hunt with, or that duck hunting Benelli, I'm fine, as long as they don't come for that. But, there's some people who aren't really true 2A members. And I know a lot of people here in Alaska, a teacher I sat across with from the day, she told me at lunch, she told me nobody should own an AR-15. I said, well, let's talk about that at a later time. She said, okay. And we haven't got to that conversation yet, but they eat moose as their primary meat. They go and hunt moose with a rifle as their primary meat. But I'm sure she's a Democrat. I don't know about her husband, and that kind of thing. And it's just like there are a lot of Democrats and gun owners who are just hunters, but I wouldn't say they would be necessarily NRA members.
Yes.
That's probably not what they're going to be.
Well, I commented on that earlier about that. That I'm an NRA member. I'm not a FUD, and I just renewed. Matter of fact, it expired, and I had to renew. And anyway, I just yearly, because if they go too stupid, I mean, honestly, I look back at their history, and yes, they've been the kind of strongest, but there's so much FUDs there, and it bothers me. It's like a lot of people that are in the NRA are, as long as they're not taking my quail gun, blah blah blah, and something. How far is it going? They don't get it. They just don't get that. It's just one more piece, one little bit, one little more. They want them all. And you look, and they honestly, you look at a lot of these anti-gun politicians, and don't just look at what's said on the mainstream media. Dig a little deeper, and you'll find out that their goal is to ban them all.
Well, just think about it. It's simple. It is exactly that. It's ban them all, but they're doing it in the way, the same thing that the Nazis did a long time ago, where they used the youth. And that's what they're doing these days. They're using the youth.
Well, yeah, they're indoctrinating them. It's that simple. I mean, if come strike me down, government of truth. I mean, really, look at it. It's thank God that my children grew up the way they did. One's he's going to be 30 years old. Crap. My daughter's going to be 33. Crap. They grew up in a time, and with me as their father, living in front of a shooting range. Yeah, they grew up in a time that they were taught the basics of gun safety. They never had a curious question about a gun. They just said, "Dad, show me." I went, "Let's go," and that's how they learn. And unfortunately, our youth today, they're being taught that that's evil. No.
That's why it's so important that you take a kid shooting. And if I can't tell anybody advice, you need to take a kid shooting. I had a kid run my camera for me all of last year in the summer. I would text his mom, "Hey, I'm free. If your son wants to come shooting, he can, and he can run the cameras for me." And he would run the cameras for me and think everything's so cool. He had this cool idea of taking a cantaloupe, cutting it, or watermelon, cutting it open and shaking up a Coke can and putting it inside of it. And it's on my channel. It's on one of my 7mm Magnum videos. Shot. I'm getting an echo from somebody. Anyway, I shot the watermelon at 25 yards with the Coke can inside of it, and it just made a better explosion than just a regular watermelon, right? And he had a great idea, but that kid, he's kind of scrawny for a 13-year-old. He shot my 40-7. He didn't like it, so I pulled out my 7 mag with a limb saver, and he loved that thing, which is weird to me because if I were scrawny, I was I was never scrawny, but at that age, I was at shooting 22s, and my dad's 308 was kicking me, and I grew up, and my family wasn't the greatest, but one thing I'm happy about is the love of shooting my dad instilled in me, and the importance of the Second Amendment. And those are the things I'm really, really happy about. So I'm just so glad he did that. So we've covered Trump's speech pretty good and gotten off topics pretty well. Let's do some final thoughts on, you know, the idea was, you know, tonight, this is the Tuesday late night 2A chat. And it's usually on the Modern Anti-Federalist channel. So if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please go subscribe to the Modern Anti-Federalist. Share his videos around. Some of them are really, really good. If you look at his video, that really impressed me the most was the holes in the Parkland shooting video. You go look at that. Just go check that out. But holes in the narrative, isn't that what it's called, Adam? Holes in the narrative.
Yeah, holes in the narrative. That's my one where I put my tinfoil on my hat and do a deep dive into some of the weird things about Parkland. And I still am interested in doing something with those links you sent me. We'll save that for a later date. But yeah, hey, a bunch of you have already subscribed. I really appreciate that. And I do have a final point that people are being indoctrinated, and many already are, and the kids are going this way, where they're taught to fear, you know, tools such as, you know, AR-15s as assault weapons. But something to remember is that it's a mindset. You are the weapon. And when you realize that you are the weapon, and once people can understand that, we can change that.
Exactly. That's what I did with my hockey sticks.
Go ahead, Alaska.
I said exactly. That's what I did with my hockey stick story. Is that, you know, I saw an opportunity there to go, oh wait, I can change 300 kids thinking.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I praise you for the way that you did that, because when you told the story, I went, oh, I see what you did there. You, they're young kids. They're very young kids, and you have to. And I had teachers like you as a child. I grew up in a different age.
Right.
And teachers, like I said, I graduated in '85. I was born in '66, so I started going to school in what, '71.
Yeah.
You know, and back then it was a little different. And I live in a small town, but to show the kids that it's an eye opener. You know what I mean? That you're not saying, look, you're B2A strong, blah blah blah, because, well, shit, they just kick you out of school. But you open their eyes to go, oh, see this inanimate object without an evil person behind it. It's just a stick. It's just
and that's the biggest thing is teaching people and making them understand that it's an evil person or a bad person behind it, and not a good person who is doing what they do and defend what they're supposed to defend.
It's just a machine. Without the person, it doesn't do anything.
And I just want to say that being a PE teacher, Scotsman, I know I'm just a PE teacher, but that's another reason to arm teachers, is because when I take kids out skiing or ice skating and backfield or snowshoeing, there could be moose back there that stomp on those kids, you know?
Yeah, well, you live in Alaska, so, you know.
Dude, you know, I was just giving you shit, dude, but honestly,
I know. I don't care.
So I've taught a lot of kids over the years, and martial arts and other things as well, but it's you know, those that can't teach do and all that good stuff. But in all seriousness, it is our duty as law-abiding citizens, law-abiding patriots, to teach the younger generation.
Definitely. I just want to know, as a martial arts Scotsman, and you said you're 6'4". Can you roundhouse high kick a moose in the head?
So first off, it's just a round kick. It's not a roundhouse kick.
That sounds more badass.
That is a Korean bullshit thing that was brought to the U.S. It's actually just a round kick, and yes, I can kick that high.
Okay, so when you come up here, we're going to test that out.
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it live if you want.
Scotsman, this is the thing.
Get a lot of views on that. All right, I just want to go ahead and we've gone on about our hour length here, or about 50 minutes. So we got on a little bit off topic. So Adam, you got any final thoughts on our two-way chat?
Yeah, guys, this was a lot of fun. Got to see some familiar faces. Got to see some new faces. Scotsman, really appreciate you hosting us tonight. Please come on my channel anytime we do a late two-way. Armament Axes, it's nice meeting you, man. You definitely on as well. And,
thank you.
Everyone watching.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
I'm not sure we have like an echo going on. I jumped out, jumped back in, but we still got echoes going on. I'm not sure what's going on there, guys, so I apologize for that. But the Modern AntiFederalist, Adam, you are more than welcome, man. I'm happy to help you out anytime. If you guys want to do this again, just let me know.
Absolutely.
Just give me enough heads up, at least 2 hours, and we'll make it happen.
Sounds good.
But happy to help out anytime I can. Armor and Axis, you got anything else you want to say, buddy?
No, I'm just becoming a regular. But, you and me are going to shoot some binary on Memorial Day weekend. You know that, right?
Hell yeah.
We got binary X. I got 5 pounds. I won that. Kind of funny on Hank's channel. It's like, do this. And I went, okay. And I won 5 pounds. But, like I said, my channel partner brother is a licensed pyrotechnician, which means he can buy dynamite. We're not going to buy dynamite, but
he's a up dynamite.
Well, yeah. Anyway, he's a fireworks guy. That they do that on the side. Anyway, no, he's going to get some more. I'm going to get some more. But yeah, we're going to do it at my brother's place because my local club where I film most of my videos, they banned tannerite binary because people were doing stupid things. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to do it at my brother's range. And we want to blow up things that doesn't cause shrapnel that might come back over 100 yards and stick you in the eye. So we're thinking stuffed animals, fruit, anything. And then this is the funny thing. I said to my brother, channel partner brother, I said, we got coyotes up here. So maybe if we blow up a lot of fruit and maybe some chickens or turkeys, then we'll go coyote hunting, right? At night. Yeah. Just the thought,
That's a good idea. Can I borrow that binary the same weekend to go bear hunting?
What are you going to blow up a bear? I mean, what?
I'm going to blow up the tree next to the bear, make the tree fall on him, and kill him.
Hell yeah!
Going to time it just right.
Get some. We'll call it a salt binary.
It's going to be called an assault tree.
A salt tree.
It's going to go full semi-auto on the bear.
Fully semi-auto, yeah.
We'll have the shoulder thingy that goes up.
That's right. I'm going to line up 30 trees in a row, so it's a 30-round magazine.
In under 2 seconds, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ghost trees.
The bear can't get away from all 30. Actually, the trees up here are kind of thin. He could eat all 30 trees and still come out of them.
Yeah, but you got bald eagles everywhere up there. I know you do.
Oh my gosh, I've seen so many bald eagles. I saw 2 bald eagles before moving to Alaska. Yeah, I don't know how many. I can tell you where to go to see.
Where'd you move from?
Georgia.
Oh yeah. No, Northern Ohio. I live, I don't know, like 20 miles south of Lake Erie. Scotsman's like right on Lake Erie. I know where that area. Yeah, he's right there, and he probably sees them. But they were really prevalent up there years ago. I do know that it was a pesticide or something, DHT or something that they sprayed that the eagle's eggs just were thin and they didn't hatch, and they banned that. Now the eagles are coming back, and my God, they look where I live. To see a red-tailed hawk when I was a kid was like, oh wow, that's cool. Now there's eagles everywhere. You know what I mean? It's like because of that, and it's like, hell yeah. And I'm sorry, I just bald eagles, America, freedom. Matter of fact,
there are eagles absolutely everywhere up here.
I know that.
There's a ton of hawks up here too. When I first got back to Ohio, about a year and about a year and a half ago, roughly somewhere in there is when I got back to Ohio. And I was driving around searching for an apartment. I shit you not, a hawk flew right in my windshield and cracked my windshield pretty damn good, and it hit it hard. I mean, I was going about 35, and that thing hit it solid and completely shattered the right side of my windshield.
Yeah.
And
did it kill the hawk, or did he fly away?
No, dude, there was nothing left.
Okay, so the hawk splattered.
It was bad. I mean, you talk about something that would freak you out and just go, like, holy crap, what the hell just happened? That's what it was. I'm literally driving along, and I see this bird, and it just flies down, stops in the middle of the road, looks right at me, and it flies right at the windshield.
So you had a suicidal hawk?
It was suicidal. I kid you not. I mean, it literally...
It tried to take you with it.
Stopped right in front of me on the ground, looked right at me, and then flew right in my windshield.
That hawk said, I'll kill you.
And it hit it hard. I mean, I was doing about 35, and when I went to the insurance company and said, hey, I got a crack in my windshield, and they're like, what happened? And I'm like, well, you might want to come take a look, and I'll explain it, but the bird feathers are still sitting on my windshield.
You know something? Hey, I can tell you this. I was traveling from Columbus back north, and I was on 71, and you know, it's 3 lanes to point, you know, and I can't even remember the exit. You'd probably know if I mentioned it, Scotsman, but and I went to go around this truck. I was in a pickup truck, and just as I went around it, there was a deer laying in the road, flopping in that lane that somebody had hit. And honestly, I wish I would have been in the woods and taken that deer, because just about the time I went around this truck and I saw the deer and I saw the rack on it and it's flopping up and down, I didn't have any time. It was like, boom, I hit it, ran completely over it in my pickup truck. Yeah. Animals, stupid animals. Why are you running in traffic, right? Why you flying into my windshield?
Dude, I literally went to my insurance agent.
Y'all do not want to get hit or hit a moose in the car. It'll probably kill you. And
you know, if I want to hit a moose, I drive a pretty good sized dump truck. If I hit a moose in that dump truck, it's like hitting a deer in, you know, what, a Grand Prix. You know what I mean? Moose are huge. A full-size moose, holy crap, they're big.
They can get up to 2,000 pounds. When I moved up here, I thought, hey, they're about the size of a horse. No, they're about the size of 2.5 horses.
They're bigger than a draft horse. They are huge.
It's bad, man. You got to be careful out there.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, we've chatted long enough, and we've had some
I was gonna say we are hitting time, so I'm gonna go ahead and Alaska. I'm gonna let you go ahead and start first, man. What you got?
Well, I just want to say thanks, Scotsman, for hosting it tonight. It's really hard for me, and this is why I've been putting all the work on Adam. Is you know, I'm after school, and I have to rush to my chiropractic appointment. It's really hard for me to get home in time to set all this up to have a chat where most of the East Coast people can still have a fairly decent time before midnight anyway. And so I really appreciate you doing it, and Adam has done it the last several weeks. But this is our weekly 2A Tuesday late night chat, and it's usually on the Modern Anti-Federalist channel. So if you're still in the side chat, or if you're watching this later and you hadn't subscribed, go subscribe to Modern Anti-Federalist. And we talk about different 2A issues that have happened that week, and different things going on. And sometimes Adam plans the discussion. It's pretty structured most of the time. Sometimes I plan it. But this is what we usually talk about, or just different 2A issues. And tonight was supposed to be mostly about Trump's speech. And we kind of got off topic a little bit, but that's all right. And we don't mind. And I just want to say, go subscribe to Adam. He's a great guy. He's going to be, we have a community of gun channels here, and he's one we need to really welcome into that community, because he's got a lot of insight, and he does something different than most of us do. He doesn't just do gear reviews. He digs into the media aspect and puts together some awesome videos. And he's helped me out with Alaskan gun control, and just a really, really genuine good dude.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I appreciate you setting this up.
Yeah, dude, I'm happy to do it anytime. You guys want to jump on again, just let me know. Again, all I need is at least a couple hours notice, and we can make it happen. But I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to help people out whenever I can. So you guys are more than welcome. And again, guys in the side chat, if you're listening and you haven't already gone over and sub to the Modern Anti-Federal Armalist, please do so. Go check him out. He's a pretty cool guy. I talked to him before last time. Last time I was on his chat. And he's a pretty cool guy, so go check him out. And if you don't know Armament and Axis, since he's still on here, check him out too. And with that being said, Armament and Axis, do you have anything else you want to say before we hit the end button?
Well, I'm still here. Yeah, if anybody wants to sub me, that's cool. But please, everybody here, go sub all the other channels. Of course, they must be subbed to you, Scotsman, because they're watching this on your channel. But the other two guys, including me, if you're not subbed, that would be cool. Yeah, we hit a lot of points tonight. Pretty cool. It's fun hanging out again. So I hope.
Absolutely. All right, guys. We appreciate everyone showing up. Thank you all. I know this is kind of an impromptu thing, so I'm glad we had a decent viewership out there, and thank you guys. I really, really do appreciate it. And again, please go sub Alaskan, Armament and Axis, and the Modern Anti-Federalist if you have not already done so. And guys, thank you. We appreciate it, and we are out of here.
Dunskies.